That's gone straight up, and I'm going to bring you some more smiling faces right now. We have with us, ladies and gentlemen, Jeremiah Johnson and his wife, Audrey. This is the couple with 5, there they are. You're the stars of this program, ladies and gentlemen. You have 5 children, including those 3 wonderful triplets. We got in touch with you when you were being evacuated. We got in touch with you when you got into a hotel. Where are you now, and how are you doing?
Well, Stuart, thank you so much for your encouragement. We are doing well, all things considered. You know, tragedy, when all of us face tragedy, it really reveals our character. And it's how we respond to the tragedy and adversity that I think reveals what's inside us. And Audrey and I, Stuart, we've just made the decision. It doesn't matter what we lose. We have our family, we have our faith, and we will persevere through this. And I want to tell you, the real superstar is my wife, a.k.a. Supermom, sitting next to me, who's keeping our family, and especially those triplets, together right now. Well,
Jeremiah, I did want to ask Audrey directly, how do you do it? I have 6 children and 9 grandchildren, but I do not have triplets. I have twin granddaughters. That's another story entirely.
Okay.
How do you do it, Audrey? How do you do it?
Stuart, thank you. The current of our faith runs deeper than the current of these floodwaters. And as a mom of 5, and 3 of those being triplets, I thought I was prepared for a lot. We spent 2 months in the NICU with our boys, but nothing could have prepared us for these moments that we've had the last few days with our children, from telling them to grab a grocery bag and put whatever you want in it before we jumped in the car, to watching my 8-year-old daughter, Lily Faith, hold 2 bottles for her baby brothers, and just looking terrified and looking up at me and saying, "Mommy, I'm sick, I don't feel good," and having to calm her down as we're driving the opposite way on the highway, just trying to drive to safety away from the floodwaters. It's been really difficult as a mom to try to keep your composure around your kids and encourage them while trying to get your family to safety at the same time.
Audrey, you are an inspiration to us all, and that's a fact. My grandchildren are watching. They are in awe of you. But I do have to make this comment. I've covered a lot of disasters and catastrophes in my time in America, 40 years. I have never seen such an outpouring of spiritual recognition and faith. I've heard God mentioned, faith mentioned, more often as we cover this disaster than at any previous time. And yet, I have to tell you, Jeremiah, you're being mocked. Christians, Texans, Republicans, conservatives, whatever, you're being mocked for your faith. I don't like it. How do you respond?
Well, unfortunately, this is just part of the post-Christian world that we now find ourselves. And Stuart, I'm president of Christian Thinkers Society, and being a Christian thinker is not an oxymoron. And at Christian Thinkers, our vision is to inspire Christians to become thinkers and thinkers to become Christians. And that's why I love your program so much. You teach us how to have cognition, how to be critical thinkers, to be able to respond to this anti-God, anti-faith rhetoric that we are all tired of. Here's the bottom line, especially when I think of this ridiculous Politico cartoon. I choose to believe what the book of James says. Remember what James 1:17 says? Every good and every perfect gift comes from above. So if we were saved or rescued by that sheriff who told us, don't go that way, the waters will take you, go this way, God put that sheriff there, and we choose to see the positives. That's the only way we can respond to this. And unfortunately, we have to know that this anti-Christian spirit is around, and we have to speak to it. We can't be silent.
Could you respond to something which we've heard a lot about? How could God, how could a loving God allow this kind of catastrophe to happen? What kind of a God is that? That's been asked of me many times. Would you answer the question?
Absolutely, and this is the #1 reason that people walk away from the faith, Stuart, an experience of evil, suffering, and pain. I mean, I think of Steve Jobs when he was 13 years of age, walked into his Lutheran church and asked his pastor about suffering children in Africa. His pastor couldn't answer the question. Jobs left the church and he left the Christian faith. So this is a brilliant question that you're asking. As believers, we resort to Romans 8:28, and God will cause all things, not just some things, all things to work together for good. Unfortunately, Stuart, we live in a fallen world because of the great catastrophe, because of sin. Evil reigns in our world, and this is why we need a Savior. And I want to encourage people that are watching and listening to Audrey and me right now, and Stuart, there is hope, there is faith. This is why Jesus came to the world, to give us hope, hope that we can't find on our own or through our own performance. And the beauty of the Christian faith is unlike any other religion in the world, by the way, Stuart. Christianity attempts to answer the question of theodicy, the problem of evil. And I thank God that Jesus has been with us. You know, the book of Hebrews, Stuart, says Jesus will never, and in the Greek it's never, 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 never leave us, and he will never forsake us. And even without a home, we're displaced in a hotel room with 7. We sense his presence, and we sense his love through you, Stuart, too, so we thank you. ChristianThinkers.com, is that it? Have I got it right? That's right.
ChristianThinkers.com. And we can get in touch with you through ChristianThinkers.com. Jeremiah,
Yes,
Audrey, and all 5 of those wonderful children, thank you very much for being with us. God bless.